1. Opening for busy viewers. Breaking news. Judgment Day has finally arrived. After months of threats, drama, and negotiations, Trump's new tariff hammer just dropped. And the list? Full of surprises. Let's start with the biggest winner, United Kingdom, the only major trading country to score the golden 10% rate. Even with a slight trade surplus, the special relationship still pays off. First to sign a deal with Trump, first to be spared. Then comes the hammer, Brazil, slammed with a brutal 50% tariff by Trump, the highest in the world. Why? Not trade. Brazil actually runs a $6.8 billion deficit with the US and had a 10% rate in the original document. This was pure political punishment by Trump. Next, the surprise mercy list. EU, Japan, South Korea all run huge trade surpluses with America. But Trump gave them just 15%. Why? Because they invest hundreds of billions, buy US weapons, and play the game. Then comes the friendly fire tier. Taiwan, Philippines, and most of ASEAN all landed in the 18 to 20% range. Even allies got hit if they sold too much and bought too little. And finally, the "what did they do wrong" club. India, South Africa, and Switzerland all slapped with 25 to 39% tariffs. Switzerland got hit harder than China's 30%. Let that sink in. But what about America's biggest trading partners, China, Canada, and Mexico? They've been put in grace periods. No new tariffs yet. The real showdown is coming, later. Meanwhile, about 100 smaller economies, from Ghana to Iceland, got the default 15% or 10%. They're not the target, but everyone got to pay, and the richer you are, the more you pay. Before we dive in, if you appreciate calm, clear breakdowns of big global plays, hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment with your take. 2. UK, the only 10%. Winner. In 2024, the UK exported $58.7 billion to the US and imported $56.6 billion. Just a tiny $2.1 billion trade surplus. But what really saved it? Brexit. Trump loved Brexit and sees the UK as a symbol of the same movement as his MAGA. Combine that with the century-old special relationship, and the UK gets the lowest tariff on the board. 3. Brazil. From 10% to a brutal 50%. Originally slotted for 10% based on a $6.8 billion deficit with the US. But then came politics. Trump despises BRICS, and Brazil is right in the middle of it. Even worse, in Trump's eyes, Brazil is prosecuting Jair Bolsonaro, his ideological ally, for allegedly plotting a coup, the same accusation Democrats made against Trump. Trump sees it as an attack on his global movement, so Brazil got the hammer. 4. EU, Japan, South Korea. Strategic surplus at 15%. All three have massive trade surpluses with the US. Germany, cars and machinery. Japan, autos and electronics. South Korea, chips, steel, batteries. That looks really bad to Trump. But what saves them? Massive investment into the US economy. EU, over $1.3 trillion in Buy America and investment. Japan, around $550 billion. South Korea, over $350 billion. In Trump's world, money buys mercy. 5. Taiwan, Philippines, and ASEAN. The friendly fire. 18 to 20% tier. Most ASEAN countries, Vietnam, Indonesia, Thailand, Cambodia, are in the 18 to 20% range. But two cases stand out. Taiwan, a major US partner. Taiwan's TSMC is investing hundreds of billions to build the world's most advanced semiconductor fabs in Arizona. Still got hit with 20%. Why? Likely just because it's rich and has a huge surplus with the US. No special treatment. Philippines. Its president is one of the most pro-American leaders in Asia. But even with that alignment, the tariff only dropped from 20% to 19%. Not much of a reward. Message: friendship doesn't always protect your bottom line. 6. India, South Africa, Switzerland. The YUS Club. All three got 25% to 39% tariffs, with little economic logic. India, a fast-growing trade partner, rising in tech and defense. But India is also a core BRICS member, pushing for de-dollarization. Trump sees that as a threat to US dollar hegemony. South Africa, same BRICS problem, less economically significant, but politically symbolic. Switzerland, the real shocker, it's not a BRICS country, yet it got 39%, higher than many geopolitical rivals. A total surprise, or a warning shot. 7 grace periods for the big 3. China, Mexico, Canada. Trump didn't pull the trigger yet on China. Review deadline is August 12th. Mexico and Canada, still protected by USMCA for now. These are America's top trading partners, and Trump is saving their fate for later. If things go south, this could be the real tariff war. 8. Everyone else, 10% or 15%. Around 100 countries got the default rates. 15% for most developing economies and 10% for countries with minimal US trade or political goodwill, like Falklands, Iceland. Everyone's got to pay. 9. Final. That's the world trade map, just redrawn by Trump with a spreadsheet, a red pen, and a giant hammer. And the real fights with China, Mexico, and Canada are still ahead. Stay tuned. If you appreciate calm, clear breakdowns of big global plays, hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment with your take. See you next time on Twin Peaks Bridge Reflection.